Hey reader, before we dive in, add your thoughts and lessons in the comments, tap like, and hit subscribe so you never miss a twist. Sarah Morgan wakes before the alarm, heart skipping like a kid's jump rope. Daniel's away on another work trip, yet she can't stop smiling because he left a surprise folder on the kitchen table. Inside sits a glossy resort brochure, all palm trees and turquoise waves. A sticky note in Daniel's neat scrawl says, "Happy 12th, love. Pack light. We leave in 3 weeks." Sarah walks through the quiet house, touching the walls as if they've turned softer overnight. She's 35, a stay-at-home mom who gave up graphic design when their daughter, Sophie, came along. For years she's balanced homework, lunches, and Daniel's suitcase schedule without complaint. A Caribbean getaway feels like her own Medal of Honor. She FaceTimes Rita, her college best friend. The screen fills with Rita's grin. "Girl, you look like you swallowed sunshine." Daniel booked an anniversary trip. 5 nights, ocean view suite. Sarah sings. That man finally did something right. Rita winks, but her voice turns careful. "You sure you're okay leaving Sophie? She'll stay with my parents 2 towns over. We deserve this." For the next few days, Sarah floats on plans. New swimsuits, snorkeling dreams, a couple's massage she saw online. She sketches a postcard design for Daniel, bright shells framing the words "better together." She laughs when Sophie teases, "Mom, you're doodling hearts like a teenager." Yet small oddities peek through. Daniel's calendar alert pops up on the shared laptop. Flight Wednesday, return Monday. But their trip starts Thursday. She shrugs, blames work overlap. A shipping box arrives addressed to Danny M. She sets it aside, certain he ordered extra beach gear. Night after night she scrolls resort photos. Wide hammocks, firelit dinners on sand, kids club that Sophie would have loved if she were coming. Each image feels like proof their marriage still sparkles. Sarah whispers to herself, "We made it through diapers, layoffs, and long nights. Now it's our time." And somewhere miles away, Daniel's phone lights up, his lips curling at a message that isn't from Sarah. But she can't see that. Not yet. In her mind, the ocean breeze already lifts her hair, and a promise forever still tastes sweet. Tuesday afternoon drags, heat pressing through open windows. Sarah stands at the sink, rinsing smoothie cups when Daniel's name flashes on her screen. She answers, ready for his usual layover check-in. "Hey, babe," she starts, but he doesn't hear. The call hasn't connected, or so she thinks. A second later the line opens. Daniel's voice floats in, soft and unguarded. "Yeah, I'll book the bigger suite so the kids have space," he says, tone tender. A woman laughs, warm as cocoa. "Our kids just want that lazy river," the woman replies. "Can't blame them." Daniel chuckles. "We'll be one big happy mess, Sunblock everywhere." Sarah's hands freeze under cold water. "Kids?" He said, "Kids, plural. Sophie's their only child. And Her name sounds close, intimate. She grips the edge of the sink, breathing shallow. The call continues, blissfully unaware of its audience. Daniel says, "Our anniversary lines up with their school break. Worked out perfectly." The woman answers, "Feels like fate, Danny. I still can't believe we get this chance." A plate slips from Sarah's soapy fingers, clanging into the basin. She jolts, heart hammering. The faucet runs like storm rain. She slides her finger over the mute icon, double-checking. She's not the one unheard. No, Daniel's phone must have dialed by mistake, pocket call style, and now pours secrets straight into her ear. Daniel adds, "I'll tell the office I'm covering 2 territories. Buy us extra days." The woman sighs, "You always find a way." Sarah forces her thumb to end the call. Silence slams the room. She stares at her reflection in the darkened window, wide eyes, mouth partway open, like a character who's read the wrong script. She replays each word. Kids. Anniversary. Lazy river. Nothing fits the life she knows. Maybe it's a twisted client joke? Maybe he's planning a surprise family reunion? She wipes her palms on a dish towel, but the chill clings. Rita's text pings, house paradise prep. Sarah types back, call me. Her fingers shake so hard she hits the wrong letters twice. For the first time in 12 years, she feels the ground beneath her shift and she isn't sure which way is down. Rita arrives within 30 minutes, still in gym clothes. She finds Sarah on the couch, knees hugged to chest, phone face down like a venomous bug. Tell me everything, Rita urges, settling beside her. Sarah repeats the call, voice thin. Rita's eyes narrow with each detail. When Sarah finishes, Rita exhales a slow prayer. Girl, that's bigger than a fling. He's talking about their kids. Sarah's head throbs. There has to be another explanation. Rita shakes her head. Start with facts. Check his phone bill. Cloud photos. Anything. Sarah hasn't snooped since dating days, but shock overrides pride. She opens their shared account online. Call logs bloom, hundreds of minutes to an unknown number tagged private. Late nights, Daniel claimed delayed flights. Weekends, he said client golf. Sarah feels heat crawl up her neck. She digs deeper, clicks the family plan storage. A new folder pops up, labeled Summer Memories. Inside, she finds a smiling woman with chestnut curls, Emily, standing in a park, two small kids clinging to her legs. Daniel's arm drapes around her like it's the most natural thing. Rita covers her mouth. He's living two lives. A buzzing fills Sarah's ears like broken glass tumbling in a jar. She sets the tablet down carefully as if any sudden move might explode her world. Sophie's voice floats from upstairs asking about dinner. Sarah swallows the taste of metal and calls back, be right there, honey. She pastes on a trembling smile and climbs the stairs. While heating leftovers, she stares at the stove flame and thinks, what next? Confront him? Expose him? Protect Sophie? Every option feels like walking barefoot on razors. That night, after Sophie sleeps, Sarah sits on the patio, phone light casting a pale halo. She types private investigators near me. One name appears with stellar reviews for Delicate Domestic Matters, Detective Lisa Brennan. Sarah whispers to the night, I'll find the truth. The wind answers only with rustling leaves. Somewhere, Daniel probably dreams easily, believing his secret is sealed. But a crack has formed, sharp and widening, and Sarah intends to pry it open until daylight floods every corner he tried to hide. Sarah spends the night on the living room rug with the laptop glowing like a cold moon. She can't sit on the couch Daniel chose, can't lie in the bed he still calls ours. So she kneels, fingers flying, and digs for proof that what she heard was real. Every keystroke feels like a heartbeat. First, she opens the airline app. Daniel's loyalty number shows 2 upcoming flights, not one. The first matches their anniversary route. The second leaves a day earlier and lands in a different city, Emily's city, according to a quick search. Sarah's pulse thumps. She screens grabs everything. Next, she scrolls credit card statements. 2 sets of grocery charges appear each week, one local, one near Emily's zip code. Daniel once said he grabs snacks during long drives. Lies stack like dirty dishes. She checks the shared cloud calendar he swore he never uses. Hidden under a color she's never noticed sits a second schedule labeled with the initials LCM. Every Wednesday. Soccer practice. Every Friday, story time. Sophie's soccer meets on Saturdays. She never needs story time now. LCM must be Liam Carter Morgan. Sarah stops shaky. She looks up and sees family photos on the hallway wall, Daniel kissing newborn Sophie, Daniel lifting her onto his shoulders at 5, Daniel grinning beside Sarah last Christmas. The frames blur. She whispers, were you acting in every shot? A floorboard creaks upstairs. Sarah closes tabs, heart sprinting. Sophie appears in the stairlight, hair tangled, voice small. Mom? You're up late. Sarah forces calm. Just finishing bills, honey. Go back to bed. Big science test tomorrow. When Sophie's footsteps fade, Sarah exhales a shaky breath that tastes like rust. She reopens the laptop. One more search, Daniel's voicemail account. She cracks the passcode easily. He still uses their wedding date. Messages pour out. Emily's sleepy goodnights, Liam's squeaky recital practice, Nina's baby babble. The last one is Emily. Love you, Danny. Drive safe. Sarah, hunched over, covers her mouth. The pain isn't sharp. It's slow, spreading like frost creeping over glass. She whispers to the empty room, I need help. But first she copies every file onto a thumb drive and slips it into her pocket, a small shield against the giant storm rolling toward her door. Morning sunlight feels rude, too bright for a world that just broke. Rita storms in before coffee, armed with takeout lattes and fierce eyes. One look at Sarah's pale face and Rita sets the drinks down with a thud. Okay, tell me you slept. Sarah shakes her head. I found pictures, receipts, kids' schedules, everything. Rita drops onto a chair. Show me. Sarah opens the thumb drive folder. Emily and Daniel fill the screen. Pumpkin patch smiles, zoo wristbands, matching t-shirts that read Carter Morgan Family Fun Run. Rita lets out a low whistle. That's not a fling, that's a corporation. Sarah hugs herself. What do I do? Confront him tonight? Kick him out? Rita leans forward. Slow down. Get every fact first. Men like Daniel spin stories. You need receipts that shout louder than his lies. Sarah's voice cracks. I hate spying. It feels dirty. Dirty? Rita snorts. He built a castle in mud. You're just shining a flashlight. Sarah fiddles with the latte lid. Sophie worships her dad. If I blow up too fast, I ruin her world. Rita softens. Then we plan smart. You collect proof like puzzle pieces. When you're ready, we flip the box and show the full picture. Sarah's phone buzzes. Daniel's name. Rita jerks her chin. Speaker. Sarah answers, voice steady. Morning. Daniel sounds cheery. Just landed. Sales meeting went great. Can't wait to see my girls tonight. Rita rolls her eyes so hard Sarah almost laughs, which scares her. Daniel keeps talking. Remember that thing we discussed? It's moving forward. Sarah replies, great. Talk later. She hangs up and grips the phone. He lies with zero effort. Rita nods. He's rehearsed. That means you rehearse too. Practice calm. And please, hire a professional. Someone who can track Daniel without tipping him off. Sarah bites her lip. A private investigator? Exactly. Get someone neutral, ironclad. When the showdown comes, you'll have more than feelings. Sarah picks up her laptop again and types Detective Lisa Brennan. The name glows like a lifeline. Rita squeezes her shoulder. You've got this, Sarah. He doesn't get to write the ending. You do. Detective Lisa Brennan meets Sarah in a quiet corner booth of a downtown cafe that smells of cinnamon rolls. Lisa's reputation says discreet. Her posture says don't mess with me. She's late 30s, hair pulled into a neat bun, eyes sharp behind simple glasses. Sarah pushes a folder across the table. I'm pretty sure my husband has 2 families. Her voice trembles only once. Lisa opens the folder, flips through photos, phone logs, flights. She nods like a surgeon studying scans. You've done half my job already, she murmurs. But let's confirm everything, document timelines, and locate their exact address. Sarah sips water, hands shaking. I want proof strong enough for court if it comes to that, and for my daughter, so she knows I didn't act on rumor. Lisa nods. We'll gather financials, track his travel, grab surveillance photos. I can place a GPS unit on his car if state laws allow. Sarah swallows. Cost? Lisa quotes a number that makes Sarah blink, then adds, but we can tailor. Truth has value. Sarah breathes out. Do it. Lisa goes over forms. Sarah signs, feeling like she's signing a new life lease. Lisa slides her burner phone. Only use this when you contact me. Keep it hidden. Hidden from my own husband, Sarah mutters. The words taste bitter. Lisa's eyes soften a fraction. I see women at this table every week. They think they're alone. They're not. A tear slips down Sarah's cheek. She wipes it fast. I'm not breaking. I'm just bending. Lisa offers a half smile. Bend all you need. I'll hold the line. They set a timeline, 2 weeks of surveillance, financial pulls, witness interviews. Lisa promises interim updates. Before leaving, she asks, anything else you want me to watch for? Sarah thinks of Sophie's shy smile, Daniel's easy lies, Emily's trusting face in those photos. Yes, she says softly. Watch his eyes when he's with them. Tell me if he looks happy or just rehearsed. Lisa nods once, understanding more than words say. She tucks the folder into her bag and disappears into mid-morning traffic, a ghost on Sarah's side. Sarah walks outside, sun bright on her skin, phone silent in her purse. For the first time since the call, she feels the ground again, still cracked, but holding. The storm's coming, but she's no longer unarmed. Sarah waits by the laundry room door while the dryer hums, pretending to fold towels so Sophie won't guess she's really glued to Daniel's cloud account on her phone. Detective Brennan dropped a text that morning. Pull any private videos you find. Emotion sells the timeline. Following instructions, Sarah clicks a hidden album called Family Forever. The first clip loads. There's Daniel in a park she can't place. Sunlight spilling over him like a spotlight. A woman steps into frame. Same chestnut curls, gentle smile. Freckles. Emily. She wears a t-shirt that reads Mom Fuel equals coffee and cradles a little girl, Nina, on her hip. Say hi to Daddy's camera. Emily whispers, and Nina waves with pudgy fingers. Sarah's heart punches her ribs. She's staring at the face of the woman who unknowingly wrecked her life, but Emily looks nothing like a villain. She looks a happy, tired, normal. Sarah hates the tug of empathy that creeps in. Scroll. Next picture. Daniel and Emily kiss behind a homemade birthday cake for Liam, 6 candles blazing. Daniel's hand rests on Emily's lower back. A familiar gesture Sarah once claimed. She zooms in and notices Daniel wears the same watch she gave him last Christmas. He must have peeled off his wedding ring before each photo, though his left hand looks bare. She scrolls faster, pumpkin patches, zoo train rides, cheesy carnival selfies. 12 years of her own marriage flash in warped mirror form. Same grin, different backdrop. Same laugh, different kids. Rita's text slides in, lunch break. How you holding up? Sarah replies, looking at them now. Hate how sweet they seem. Rita fires back, remember, she's in the dark too. Your fury belongs to him. Sarah breathes deep. She screenshots each image, saves them to a password-protected folder for Lisa. Then she stares at Emily's face one more time, memorizing the gentle lines, the trust in her eyes. I'll shatter the trust soon, Sarah whispers, guilt and resolve mixed like ice and fire. The dryer beeps. Sophie yells, Mom, you coming? Sarah stuffs her phone in her pocket. On my way. Fake cheer coats her voice, even as her stomach sinks. She folds warm towels while a plan unfolds colder than winter steel. She won't just watch Emily on a screen. She'll stand in front of her, truth in hand, and watch Daniel's worlds collide. Detective Brennan's first update arrives 3 nights later in a sealed envelope hand-delivered to Sarah's porch. Inside, a simple timeline chart knocks the breath from her lungs. Monday, Daniel leaves for Dallas client. Actual. He drives south 3 hours to a bungalow in Willow Creek, suburb of Mason City. Tuesday, Wednesday, car parked outside 28 Oak Leaf Lane. Photos show Daniel grilling burgers while Emily sings to a Bluetooth speaker. Kids jumping on a splash pad. Thursday morning. He kisses Emily goodbye, promises to call from the road, then barrels back north, switches shirts in a gas station bathroom, sends Sarah a selfie that reads, "Flight delay. Miss you." Sarah spreads the printouts across the kitchen island. Each shot feels like a stab. Daniel tying Liam's shoelaces. Daniel pushing Nina on a swing. Sunlight glinting off teeth Sarah once traced with her thumb. Lisa's notes run calm. Subject appears relaxed. No visible remorse. Routine suggests long-term duplicity. Rita comes over, scans the evidence, and curses under her breath. He looks like a catalog dad. They have Taco Tuesday, Sarah mutters, tapping a photo. He hates cilantro here, but he eats Emily's tacos with a smile. Rita taps the detective's map. Oak Leaf Lane's only 90 minutes away. He could have slipped there any weekend. Sarah feels heat rise. I made excuses for every canceled date night. He said the regional VP demanded Saturday presentations. I believed him. Rita squeezes her hand. Liars bank on trust. Later that evening, Sarah drives to Willow Creek alone, parking 2 houses down from 28 Oak Leaf. Street lamps flicker. Through the front window, she spots Daniel sprawled on a sofa, Liam curled against him, both watching cartoons. Emily appears with a blanket, tucks it around them, kisses Daniel's forehead. Sarah grips the steering wheel till palms ache. She snaps one quick photo on her burner, proof for her heart, then drives off before tears blind her. Back home at midnight, she whispers to the mirror, parallel lines. But lines meet if you stretch them far enough. Her reflection stares back, worn but unbroken. She nudges the toothbrush cup aside and sticks Lisa's latest photo on the glass. Every morning now, she'll see Daniel's secret first thing. Fuel to keep pushing. A week later, Sarah sits at the kitchen table pretending to order soccer cleats for Sophie. In truth, she hacks into Daniel's corporate travel portal, a risky move Detective Brennan greenlighted. She inputs his employee ID, same wedding date, password, and there they are, 2 active reservations. Reservation A, Morgan, Daniel, and Sarah. Coral Kiss Resort, Turks and Caicos, check-in July 10th, Ocean View Villa 4B. Reservation B, Morrison, Danny, and family, Coral Kiss Resort, check-in July 9th, Garden Suite 2C. Notes, 2 children under 12 at crib. Sarah's throw clicks. Same resort, back-to-back dates separated by 24 hours. He planned to fly with Emily first, settle them in, then meet Sarah the next day? He thinks the world runs on invisible walls. She prints both confirmations, highlighter blazing across Garden Suite 2C. Rita stares, jaw dropped. He's booking overlap at the same paradise? That's ego or madness? Both, Sarah says. She feels oddly calm, like the eye of a hurricane. He'll step off one path into the other. I just need to stand where they cross. Detective Brennan phones. I can flag the resort manager quietly, get staff to log interactions. But if you want the big reveal there, timing is everything. Sarah pictures Emily sipping a welcome cocktail by the pool while Daniel rehearses lies for the next day's arrival with Sarah. She feels sick and electric all at once. Book me a room 2 under a different nom. Laps with summer break. Perfect cover, mommy-daughter getaway with grandma, she'll tell Sophie. For now. That night Daniel breezes in late, smelling of road coffee. He kisses Sarah's cheek, chatters about quarterly targets, slides into bed, and sleeps like a stone. Sarah watches the ceiling fan spin. She thinks of turquoise water hiding sharks below. Before dawn she slips downstairs, adds her alias, Grace Miller, to the resort booking site, chooses an early check-in July 8th, penthouse if possible. She presses confirm and feels a click inside, like a gear locking into place. Lines are set. Flights booked. 3 families on one island, one truth ready to erupt. Sarah whispers to the empty house, see you in paradise, Danny. and the darkness seems to whisper back, eager for the show. Sarah folds laundry in the quiet house and lets her mind replay tiny moments she once shrugged off. Daniel coming home with sand still in his shoes after a conference near the lake. Daniel texting furiously during movie nights, then saying it was corporate. The birthday he missed because a client broke down on I-95, though the GPS tag on the selfie he sent later showed a playground 200 miles away. She pulls out an old photo album, the thick kind with sticky pages. On the first anniversary, Daniel had scribbled the date in silver ink. That pen vanished years ago, yet Sarah spotted it in the video of Emily's house, lying on their hallway table. Coincidence? Maybe, but her gut growls no. Flashback, Christmas 2 years back. Daniel insisted on buying 2 bikes, said his boss's kid wanted one, asked Sarah to hide the second in the garage till Secret Santa. Months later, the box disappeared. She never saw a kid at Daniel's office ride that bike. Flashback, a bill for a family portrait session, charged on a weekend. Daniel claimed he was golfing. He told Sarah the payment credit was a refund from an old order. She believed him and tossed the receipt. Sarah presses a palm to her forehead. The truth had marched past her wearing neon signs, but love turned her head elsewhere. She calls Detective Brennan. I need you to dig for photo studios in Mason City 2 Christmases ago. Lisa agrees, calm as always. Next, Sarah flips to Sophie's baby book. Handprints, footprints, first words. Daniel had hovered over every milestone, yet he was missing from half the photos. She once assumed work kept him, but maybe he'd been with Liam learning to tie shoes, with Nina forming a first laugh. Her heart aches. The door slams, Daniel's home early, whistling. Sarah hides the baby book under folded towels. He kisses her cheek, mentions a meeting moved to morning, needs extra rest. As he heads for the shower, Sarah notices a faint sunburn line at the back of his neck, fresh, though their city's been cloudy all week. She feels steel slide into her voice. That burn looks rough. Daniel shrugs. Long lunch on the patio, you know sales guys. Sarah nods, smiling. Inside she watches a mental scoreboard. Lie, 1 more point. The cracks widen and daylight spills in, bright enough to burn. Emily Carter races around her living room with a stack of worksheets, trying to grade fractions while Nina tugs at her sleeve and Liam cartwheels over couch cushions. She glances at the clock. Daniel promised he'd be here by 6. Dinner's cooling and Liam keeps asking to show Dad his new magic trick. At 6:07, headlights finally sweep the driveway. Emily exhales. Daniel strides in, wearing that travel-worn grin she loves. He kneels, arms wide. There's my team. Nina squeals. Liam nearly knocks him over. They sit for lasagna and Daniel tells a story about a Texas seminar that ran late. Emily listens, but something in his eyes flicks sideways when the word Texas leaves his mouth, like he's double-checking an internal map. She decides she's just tired. Teaching middle school drains clarity. After dinner, while Liam and Daniel build a blanket fort, Emily scrolls the resort email Daniel forwarded. He booked Garden Suite 2C close to the pool for the kids, breakfast included. She pictures palm trees bent in salty wind and allows herself to dream. Her sister texts, saw Danny's LinkedIn. Says he manages North and South districts now? Busy guy. Emily frowns. Daniel once told her the title was territory rep. Maybe he got promoted. She tucks the thought away. Later, Daniel slips an arm around Emily, whispers, can't wait to watch sunset with you in Turks. She smiles, kisses him. Just us and the little monsters. When Daniel showers, Emily gathers laundry. She finds a boarding pass in his slacks pocket. Flight to their resort leaves July 9th, seat 14C. She already saw the family itinerary for July 9th. So far, so good. Then her eyes catch another boarding pass deeper in the pocket, flight. July 11th, same destination, seat 3A. Confused, she taps her lip. Maybe work tacked on extra days? She sets both passes on the dresser, planning to ask. But Daniel exits the shower in a rush, scoops them up, laughs. Old copies. I printed wrong. Toss them. Without waiting, he rips them, kisses her nose, says goodnight. Emily watches scraps float into the bin. A small unease curls in her chest, but she smothers it under plans for poolside pancakes. Love means trust, she tells herself. So she climbs into bed and lets Daniel's steady breathing lull her, unaware that the plain seat in row 3A isn't meant for her at all. Sophie Morgan sits cross-legged on her bedroom rug, diary open, chewing a pencil. She's 11, old enough to know grown-ups lie sometimes, but she never thought Dad would. Lately, though, weird hints drift around like dust motes, Dad's cologne lingering even on school nights he claims he's away, Mom's puffy eyes, whispered calls after bedtime. Last week Sophie overheard Mom cry quietly in the laundry room. Today, she spots that secret folder on the hallway mirror. Dad hugging a woman and 2 kids. Sophie only glimpses it for a second before Mom slides a towel over the photo. At dinner, Sophie pushes broccoli around her plate and blurts, "Dad, why do you travel so much?" Daniel swings his smile her way. "Because customers need me, peanut. Airplanes pay the bills." "Do they pay for 2 houses?" Sophie asks softly. Silence. Mom's fork freezes. Daniel chuckles too quickly. "1 house, silly. This one." Sophie shrugs but notes the flicker in his gaze. After Dad leaves for a late meeting, Sophie follows Mom to the kitchen. "Are you sad?" she asks. Mom kneels, tucks a strand of hair behind Sophie's ear. "Some days are heavy, but I'm okay." Sophie whispers, "I heard you crying." Mom's eyes well. She sits on the floor beside Sophie, back against the cabinets. "Sweetheart, grown-ups have problems kids shouldn't fix." Sophie leans in. "I'm not a kid. I can handle true stuff." Mom bites her lip. Sometimes truth is still forming. She pulls Sophie into a hug that smells of vanilla and tears. That night Sophie opens her diary. Dad hides something big. Mom's acting like storm clouds. "I'll protect her if it breaks." She sticks the diary under her pillow, a tiny shield. At school the next day, Sophie Googles her dad's name on a library computer. A local charity article pops up, picture of Dad handing a check to a soccer league in Mason City. A caption lists him as Danny Morrison. Sophie frowns. She prints the page, folds it into her notebook. Back home, she slides the article onto Mom's nightstand without a word. Sarah later finds it, hands trembling. She presses a kiss to Sophie's sleeping forehead. Her daughter's doubts have grown into action, and that action pushes Sarah further toward the showdown she's planning. Outside, a summer thundercloud rolls over the moon, warning that the storm everyone senses is almost here. The house sat hush quiet after midnight. Sarah pulled Daniel's old work laptop from its hiding spot between winter blankets. He'd sworn it was too slow for sales decks, yet never tossed it. Detective Brennan had slipped Sarah a thumb drive loaded with password-crack software and a tiny note. "Start with the trash folder. Liars forget to empty it." The boot-up felt endless, but the login still used Sophie's birth date. A single desktop shortcut, d.morrison@westline-sales.com, opened an email client Sarah hadn't seen. She clicked. A second inbox appeared, danny.m.home@gmail.com. No two-factor, no caution. He trusted shadows. She scrolled months of messages. Subject lines stung like nettles. School supply list. Liam's cast removal pics. Nina's first swim. Emily wrote most of them, attaching photos and sweet, rambling notes. "Missed you at bedtime, love." Nina kept pointing to the door. Another line. "Should we send thank you cards from the whole family or just me?" Sarah saved every thread, labeling them Exhibit A, Exhibit B, stamping dates. Her chest burned while reading Daniel's replies, "Wish I could have held her tonight." Or, "Tell Liam his magic trick beats any boardroom." He ended each with D and a heart emoji. The same heart he texted Sarah after quarterly calls. She dug deeper, opening the archived folder. Their lay flights, hotel confirmations, even a drafted will naming Emily Carter, partner, as beneficiary. The lawyer's email asked for marriage paperwork. Daniel promised to forward it soon. Sarah's mouth went dry. A legal trail meant permanence, not fling. Then she hit the trash bin and gasped. Minutes earlier, Daniel had deleted an email chain labeled Anniversary Surprise Script. Emily had typed a speech for a pretend proposal on the beach so the kids could feel official. Daniel's response glowed, "Can't wait to make us real." Sarah leaned back, vision spinning. Real? What was the last 12 years, then? A rehearsal? She printed the entire thread, fingers stiff. A soft knock startled her. Sophie again. "Mom, I heard the printer." Sarah shoved papers under a dish towel. "Just coupons, honey. Back to bed." When Sophie left, Sarah slipped every sheet into a manila envelope, sealed it, wrote one word on the flap, "Truth." She tucked the envelope inside a cereal box nobody liked. At 3 a.m. she finally shut the laptop. The email glow still echoed behind her eyes, proof that words typed in secret could cut louder than shouted lies. Saturday bloomed bright, perfect for Mason City's annual charity carnival. Detective Brennan had tipped Sarah. Emily volunteers at the ticket booth. Sarah grabbed a baseball cap, big sunglasses, and drove the hour south, heart banging like a drumline. Rita rode shotgun, phone camera ready. Crowds swirled, cotton candy clouds, squealing kids, brass band tunes. Sarah spotted Emily almost instantly. Chestnut curls pulled into a ponytail, coral t-shirt reading Carnival Crew. She handed wristbands to families, laughing when a toddler smeared jam on her sleeve. Beside the booth, Liam showed Nina how to bounce a rubber frog into plastic lily pads. Sarah froze. The kids were painfully cute. Liam's gap-toothed grin matched a photo on Daniel's cloud. Nina clapped tiny hands, eyes shining. Sarah's chest constricted. These children had no clue they balanced on a lie. Rita whispered, cameras rolling. "Get closer." Sarah shook her head. Confronting Emily here would crush the kids in public. She'd promised herself to protect children, all of them. Instead, she circled the booth, snapping still photos of Daniel's name on the sponsor banner, Westline Sales, Danny Morrison, Regional. Another alias clue. Emily's phone buzzed. She stepped aside, voice soft. Sarah drifted closer, pretending to browse balloon animals. Emily said, "We miss you too. Flight delays stink." "Love you, Danny." Her tone said comfort, not suspicion. A sudden gust lifted Sarah's cap. Emily turned at the motion, eyes sweeping the crowd. For one heartbeat, their gazes met. Emily frowned, maybe recognizing nothing, then smiled politely and looked away. Sarah's stomach flipped. That polite smile would likely vanish once truth slammed in. Sophie's earlier words echoed, "I can handle true stuff." Could Emily? Could the kids? Rita guided Sarah toward the funnel cake stand. "You okay?" "Not sure," Sarah answered. "She seems good. Kind." Rita sighed. "Victims often do." Before leaving, Sarah handed $20 to the donation jar Emily guarded. Their fingers brushed. Emily thanked her warmly, eyes crinkling. Sarah nodded, unable to speak. She walked away tasting powdered sugar and guilt. Back in the car, she stared at the carnival through the windshield until colors blurred. "I just met the other side of my husband's heart," she whispered. Rita squeezed her shoulder. "You met someone walking the same cliff edge. She just doesn't see the drop yet." Sarah started the engine. "Soon she will." The words felt heavy, inevitable, and the road home seemed shorter than before. Monday brought gray skies and Daniel's humming as he brewed coffee. Sarah placed a plain envelope beside his mug. "Mail mix-up," she said lightly. Inside sat the printed charity banner photo. Daniel glanced, shrugged, slid it under a magazine. Rita texted one word, "Bait." Sarah replied. He didn't flinch. Later that morning, Sarah met Detective Brennan and David Collins, the colleague who'd silently flagged Daniel's odd schedule. In a quiet park gazebo, David looked rattled, dark circles beneath his eyes. "I kept my mouth shut because we're friends," he began, voice low. "But clients started calling asking for Danny Morrison. I thought it was a joke." Lisa laid out photos. Daniel at Emily's house, Daniel at sales conferences under Morgan, charity events under Morrison. David's jaw dropped. "He uses two last names? That's insane." Lisa spoke calm. "Need you to sign a statement confirming you witnessed the alias on company memos." David hesitated, then scribbled his name. "I can't cover for him anymore. Customers deserve honesty, and so does Sarah." He glanced at her. "Sorry I didn't speak sooner." Sarah nodded, throat tight. "Truth arrives when it can." Lisa added another bombshell. "I pulled county records. In Mason City, Daniel's renting under Daniel A. Morrison. Cosigner? Emily Carter. Lease lists them as partners. Start date, 6 years ago." Sarah's knees wobbled. 6 years meant Liam was a newborn when Daniel signed that paper. He'd built the second life while cradling his first daughter's hand at kindergarten pickup. Lisa handed Sarah a sealed folder. Inside, screenshots of Daniel's 2 LinkedIn profiles, both active. One boasts awards as Daniel Morgan, Top Sales Northeast. The other, Danny Morrison, Family First Consultant. Same face, different slogans. The detective's eyes hardened. "Courts love alias proof. Employers, too." David swallowed. "Our HR isn't gentle with fraud." He tucked copies into his briefcase. "I'll deliver these today." Rain started to fall, soft and steady. Sarah tucked the folders under her coat. Each sheet felt heavier than water. The alias wasn't just a nickname, it was a mask Daniel wore with ease, switching it like ties. As she drove home, windshield wipers swishing, Sarah rehearsed a single line for the confrontation ahead. "Which name do you answer to when you pray?" It felt sharp enough to slice lies clean open. Back in the driveway, Daniel's car still sat gleaming. She pictured him inside, editing invoices, juggling identities without dropping a single ball. "Not for long," Sarah murmured. The alias had turned from his cover into her compass. It pointed straight toward justice. School pickup on a breezy Thursday gives Sarah a split-screen view of Daniel's double life. Detective Brennan had arranged shadow surveillance, and Sarah now scrolls the photos while waiting in the minivan line outside Sophie's middle school. In one shot, Daniel, baseball cap backward, cheers from aluminum bleachers as Liam kicks a soccer goal. 34 minutes later, according to the timestamp, he's at a city cafe FaceTiming Sophie, bragging about airport delays. Sarah studies the pictures. With Liam, Daniel squats low, eye level, high-fives hard, his grin loose and goofy. With Sophie, captured via her own phone screen, he leans back, voice pitched business casual, fatherly but distant. Same man, 2 performances. One open, one measured. That night, Sophie works on a social studies poster. Daniel, home for 1 solid week, walks in carrying takeout. "Family feast," he says, brandishing hot dumplings. He tousles Sophie's hair, then scrolls his phone under the table. "What you reading, Dad?" Sophie asks. Daniel flips the screen down. Sales graphs, peanut. But the glow on his face a second earlier wasn't an email. Sarah had seen the warm cartoon of Liam's reading app reflection. After dinner, Daniel offers a movie. Sophie picks The Incredibles. Daniel laughs at the dad's superhero bungles a little too loudly, maybe recognizing himself. Halfway through, Sophie nods off. Daniel drapes a blanket over her and whispers to Sarah she's growing fast. Makes you realize what matters. Sarah keeps her smile cool. Yeah, prioritizing family's huge. The double meaning slices between them, but Daniel doesn't flinch. Later, Sarah rifles Daniel's gym bag for laundry and finds 2 drawings. One's a stick figure family labeled Dad, Mom, Emily, Liam, Nina. The other shows Dad, Mom, Sophie on a beach. 2 versions of fatherhood sketched in crayon, hidden in dirty socks. She tapes both to her closet wall, side by side. She writes dates beneath, same week, 2 homes. She steps back and stares at the crooked hearts above each dad figure. Which one is real? Maybe neither. Maybe Daniel's whole self broke years ago, splitting into roles he can't merge. Sarah whispers objects and mirror are closer than they appear, Danny. And those objects, his kids, his lies, are speeding toward a crash only he caused. Some nights, sleep dodges Sarah like a prankster. She lies awake, staging confrontation scenes the way directors storyboard action films. In one imaginary showdown, she waits at their dining table, evidence fanned out like playing cards. Daniel walks in, sees the photos, drops to his knees, begs forgiveness. She stays silent until he's drained of excuses, then escorts him to the door without a suitcase. Another version plays at the resort, sunset, torchlights flickering. Sarah stands on the sand in a white sundress. Emily arrives holding Nina's hand. Daniel trudges up, confusion morphing to terror when both women turn toward him. He stammers, tourists gather, security drags him away as waves applaud. On especially vengeful nights, Sarah imagines live-streaming the reveal to Daniel's sales team, Emily's school board, every mutual friend. She'd label the video How to Lose 2 Families in 10 Minutes. View counts skyrocket, Daniel's phone melts with notifications. But when dawn seeps through curtains, the fantasies fade, replaced by gnawing reality. Sophie needs stability, Emily's kids deserve gentleness, and public carnage could shatter innocent hearts. Revenge feels tasty at 2 a.m., but daylight asks, at what cost? She phones Rita after school drop-off. I want him ruined, Sarah admits, voice raw. Yet I picture Liam's face. Rita sighs. Karma's great, but collateral damage isn't. Shape the hit so it lands on Daniel alone. That night Daniel snores beside her, unaware she's measuring his breaths like a metronome for lies. She visualizes sliding the manila envelope from the cereal box, dropping it on his chest, whispering, "Open your exit package." She hears his future excuses, stress, midlife confusion, loving them both, and her stomach twists. She tries a calmer script. They'd meet in a counselor's. BS her, Sarah writes a single line in her phone notes. I don't need a courtroom audience, just honest light. She hovers over the words, deciding if they're strong enough. Not yet, but they're close. She deletes don't, changes it to I need honest light. With that tiny tweak, her plan shifts from fantasy to blueprint. Saturday morning dawns bright. Sarah kisses Daniel goodbye as he heads to the gym, code for a quick drive to Emily's, she's sure. The door clicks shut, wheels roll off. She turns to Rita, already waiting in the kitchen with a legal pad and stronger coffee. Talk, Rita says. I won't confront Daniel first, Sarah begins. He'll spin. She taps the pad. I meet Emily before the trip, show proof, and we coordinate. Rita raises a brow. You're teaming up with her? Not friends, co-plaintiffs. Sarah's voice firms. 2 betrayed women hold more power than one. Detective Brennan arrives, pulls out resort floor plans and an itinerary she coaxed from a front desk contact. Emily's family lands July 9th at 2 p.m. Head straight to Suite 2C. Your alias check-in is July 8th, Penthouse 6A. Daniel reaches Turks July 10th, noon. Thinks you arrive July 10th night. We have a 24-hour overlap before he notices. Sarah nods, pointing her pen. I'll intercept Emily July 9th evening. Somewhere neutral, away from the kids. Lisa slides over a local cafe map. Quiet patio, ocean breeze, good for privacy. Rita scribbles bullet points. Evidence packet, paternity timeline, rental lease will draft, photos. Sarah adds kids' welfare plan because children can't be afterthoughts. They rehearse possible reactions. Emily might deny, faint, rage. Sarah practices steady sentences. I'm Sarah, Daniel's legal wife. I'm sorry you're hurt. We must protect all 3 kids. Lisa offers security backup, but Sarah shakes her head. We keep it humane. By noon, the blueprint is set. Sarah will fly early under Grace Miller, scout the grounds, alert Maggie Jennings, the resort manager, of a domestic matter pending. Maggie, briefed quietly by Lisa, agrees to place Daniel, Sarah, and Emily on the same VIP arrival alert without tipping him off. Later, Sarah packs secretly. She tucks the manila envelope between swimsuits, slides Sophie's diary copy beside it as silent witness. She adds a small seashell necklace she once planned to wear for their anniversary dinner, now a reminder of what used to sparkle. That evening, Daniel returns sweaty, boasts of a new personal best mile. He hugs Sarah, thanks her for holding down the fort. She smiles thinly. Anytime. In bed, he drifts off, dreaming easy. Sarah stares at the ceiling, mentally double-checking flights, cafe coordinates, backup chargers. Her pulse steadies, not with fear but direction. The stage is almost built. Props collected. Soon, 2 wives will meet under tropical sun, and Daniel will step onto a scene he didn't script. Sarah closes her eyes and finally sleeps, dreaming not of revenge, but of clear, honest light breaking over turquoise water. The final week races by like a film on fast forward. Daniel bounces between houses, checking lists, smiling wider than normal. Can you believe it, babe? Ocean air in just days, he tells Sarah while tossing polo shirts into a suitcase. He leaves gaps in the luggage. Space he'll later fill with items Emily packed for him, by mistake. Sarah nods, pretends to fuss over sunscreen counts, all while timing every word. Behind Daniel's back, she labels her own bag Grace Miller and tucks the manila envelope of evidence between beach towels. Rita drives over to practice cover stories. Remember, she whispers, you're visiting your aunt in Florida. Flight numbers fake, hotel generic. If Daniel cross-checks, he finds nothing. Sarah sits Sophie down the next evening. Honey, Grandma is excited for a whole week with you. Crafts, pizza nights, movies. Sophie's smile wobbles. She loves her grandparents, but she knows shadows lurk. Sarah cups her cheek. I've got grown-up errands, but I'll video you daily. Sophie nods, trusting but uneasy. Detective Brennan texts constant updates. Emily's bags are packed. Liam keeps asking if dolphins will wave at the plane. Nina sleeps with inflatable armbands on tiny arms. Emily books a family photo shoot for the resort's 4th night. One big memory, she writes Daniel. He responds with beach sun emojis from Sarah's sofa. On Thursday morning, Sarah kisses Daniel goodbye as he heads for a client brunch. She watches his car vanish, then wheels her own suitcase to Rita's waiting trunk. They hug tight, warriors embrace. Rita whispers, whatever happens, call me. At the airport, Sarah trades her phone SIM for the burner. Nobody calls Grace Miller. She boards the half-empty flight, stares out the window as clouds stack like whipped cream. Somewhere in another city, Daniel hugs Emily close, boarding passes in hand. Customs is a blur. Caribbean heat smacks Sarah the moment doors slide open. A driver holding a Grace M placard waves her over. Detective Brennan's contact. The drive to Coral Kiss Resort winds past turquoise water that looks unreal. Sarah grips her seatbelt, breathing quick, equal parts fear and relief, no turning back now. As palm trees blur outside, she rehearses tomorrow's lines for Emily. Each word needs care, truthful, gentle, solid as reef rock. By the time the jeep rolls beneath the resort's coral pink arch, Sarah's pulse steadies. The game board is laid out, pieces moving toward the center. Tonight she'll sleep alone, high above the beach, listening to waves that don't care about lies. Tomorrow, worlds collide. Sophie sits cross-legged on her grandparents' guest room carpet, notebook balanced on knees. The room smells of lavender sachets and old books, a safe cave away from grown-up storms. She flips to a fresh page and writes the date in bubble letters, then presses the pencil so hard it almost snaps. Mom says she's on errands. Dad says big work trip. But Grandma whispered to Aunt Mel that Mom looked haunted. Haunted means ghosts, and I think the ghost is a secret. She pauses, listening. Grandpa hums downstairs, slicing mangoes. Nobody here lies, and that makes the gap feel bigger. Clues so far. 1. Dad's 2 phones. I saw one with a picture of kids I don't know. 2. Mom printed a photo, hid it, then cried. 3. Dad asked why I needed new swimsuits if I'm just staying home, even though Mom already told him I'm with Grandma. He forgot his own story. Sophie doodles 2 stick families holding opposite ends of a rope. In the middle, the rope phrase. She feels tears rise but blinks fast, crying won't untangle knots. At dinner, Grandpa tells an old joke. Sophie laughs but later asks him, "Can you love 2 families at once?" Grandpa frowns, thinking hard. "You can love many people," he answers slowly, "but promises are like bridges, cross too many at once and they break." Sophie nods, stores the sentence. Back upstairs she writes again, "If bridges break, who falls? Kids first. Always kids." She draws 3 little stick figures tumbling into water. She snaps the journal shut when Grandma knocks. "Ha, Coco." Sophie follows her downstairs, clutching the notebook behind her back. That night, under floral sheets, she opens a new page and writes a pledge. "I, Sophie Morgan, will not let Mom stand alone. If Dad hurts her, I'll roar like a lion." She adds a final line, "When the truth comes, I'll be ready to hear it." Closing the book, she slips it under her pillow. Outside, night insects sing. Sophie pictures Mom somewhere warm, maybe scared, maybe brave. She whispers into the dark, "You've got this, Mom." Then she finally sleeps, dream-walking across a bridge she hopes still stands when morning comes. Grace Miller's passport clears the front desk with a practiced smile. Resort manager Maggie Jennings steps forward, professional warmth hiding sharp curiosity. "Welcome to Coral Kiss, Ms. Miller. Penthouse 6A is ready. Our concierge is on call for anything." Sarah thanks her, lowers sunglasses, and adds quietly, "Ms. Jennings, I believe Detective Brennan briefed you?" Maggie's eyes flick to a discreet note on her tablet. "Of course. Room privacy is guaranteed. If Mr. Morgan or any guest asks, you arrived under standard VIP check-in." A bellhop leads Sarah through open-air hallways scented with hibiscus. From the elevator lobby, the sea glitters electric blue, almost mocking. At the suite door, the bellhop slides the keycard. "Enjoy your stay." Sarah tips him and waits until footsteps fade before exhaling. Inside, floor-to-ceiling glass frames infinity pool water melting into ocean. The luxury should thrill her, instead she notes angles, balcony sight lines, hallway sounds, exits. She unpacks evidence folders in the master closet, lines them on a low shelf like reference books. Phone buzz, Detective Brennan. Emily's flight on time. Daniel dropped them at airport, left gate once they cleared security. He drives to your city tonight, returns to airport tomorrow morning for his anniversary surprise. Sarah types back, "Copy. I'll scout cafe at 5 p.m. She changes into simple linen, pulls hair into a low bun, and wanders the resort under the guise of a first-day guest. She notes Suite 2CS patio location, ground level, side garden, kids splash pool nearby. Perfect place for a family Emily believes whole. At the beach bar, Sarah orders iced tea, keeps to a shaded table. Staff couples chat about tomorrow's family carnival hosted by Mr. Morrison, returning VIP. The name buzzes in her ears like a wasp. Maggie finds her an hour later. Just confirming, MS. Carter's family lands at 2. We'll route their luggage discreetly. If you need a private lounge during any discussions, we have one. Sarah thanks her, touched by the silent solidarity of strangers. Evening paints the sky rose gold. Sarah walks the shoreline barefoot, sea foam fizzing over toes. She rehearses again. Emily, my name's Sarah Morgan. I'm Daniel's wife. I'm sorry you're learning this here. The sunset finally drops behind palms, leaving a velvet twilight. Sarah heads back, heart steady like a drum beat. Tomorrow at this time, secrets end. For now, she stands on the balcony watching first resort lights blink unlike cautious eyes. She whispers into the night wind, honest light, find us all. The ocean answers in endless hush, carrying the promise across dark water toward every soul arriving soon, ready or not. Mid-afternoon heat presses through the wide-open lobby as Sarah stands near a column, pretending to read a tour brochure. Her pulse hammers so loud she's sure guests can hear it. A carousel door swishes. Emily Carter steps inside, pushing a stroller with Nina asleep, Liam bouncing on his toes, and 2 bright suitcases rolling behind. Emily looks travel-tired but happy, eyes scanning the chandeliers with that first-day vacation glow. Sarah's breath catches. Seeing Emily on a screen was one thing. Watching her in real life, alive, unsuspecting, kind hits like a wave. For a moment Sarah wants to run, spare them both. But Detective Brennan's words replay, truth hurts fast, heals slow. Begin. A concierge approaches Emily, tags luggage, chats about coconut water. Liam tugs his mom's shirt. Pool now. Emily laughs. First check-in, bud. Her accent's lighter than Sarah expected, almost musical. When Emily turns toward the reception desk, her gaze brushes past Sarah and slides away, not recognizing. Sarah steels herself, steps forward, but Nina wakes with a cry. Emily bends, soothing her, missing Sarah's approach. The timing's off. Kids are present. Sarah veers left, heads to Maggie Jennings at the VIP counter. She whispers, Plan B. I need a quiet space, no children. Maggie nods, signals a bellhop. Moments later Sarah watches from a side hall as staff guides Emily to Suite 2C, promising kiddie pools and ice cream. Emily smiles thanks, none the wiser. Sarah exhales shakily. First sighting done. In her pocket, a note. Meet at Drift Cafe, 5 p.m. She scribbled it earlier, ready to slip beneath Emily's door once the kids nap. Clutching it, she rides the elevator up to her penthouse, rehearsing lines again. 2 hours later, barefoot on plush carpet, she slides the envelope under 2C's door, knocks softly, and walks away before footsteps reach the threshold. Her note reads, Emily, please meet me at Drift Cafe. It's about Daniel. It's urgent but safe for the children. S. Back upstairs, Sarah stares at the sea-swallowing late sun. Below, Emily's laugh drifts up from the garden like music carried on wind. Sarah presses a palm to the glass. Tonight that laugh might break, but lying any longer would be cruelty. She reminds herself, pain now, healing later. She changes into a simple blue dress, something calm. At 4:55 she heads down the path toward Drift Cafe, heart steadying into a warrior's drum. Drift Cafe perches on stilts above shallow surf, all bamboo railings and soft reggae beats. Emily sits at a corner table when Sarah arrives, iced coffee sweating beside her. The note rests under Emily's fingers. She studies Sarah's face, polite confusion shading her eyes. You're Sarah? She asks. Sarah nods, pulls out the chair opposite. Thank you for coming. I'm sorry for the cryptic note. Emily shifts, protective tension flashing across her shoulders. Is this a timeshare pitch? Because my kids. It's about Daniel. The words drop like stones. Emily's breath catches. She whispers, "You know Danny?" Sarah unfolds a slim folder and slides it across. Top page, the family portrait invoice listing. Danny Morrison and Emily Carter. Second page, Daniel's marriage certificate to Sarah Morgan. Emily's hand trembles as she lifts each sheet. The cafe soundtrack fades under pounding heartbeats. "I'm Daniel's wife," Sarah says softly. "We married 12 years ago. He's with me as Daniel Morgan. He's with you as Danny Morrison." Emily's mouth opens, no sound. She flips to photos, Daniel holding Nina, Daniel at Sophie's recital, two families split by captions. Tears well. "No," she whispers. "He told me he was widowed. Said his wife died before Sophie was 2. He showed me a fake obituary." Her voice cracks on the lie. Sarah's throat burns, but she keeps it level. "I thought he was faithful. We both believed a version." Emily presses palms to her eyes. "My students' parents ask why we're not married yet. I defended him." She wipes tears angrily. "Our kids call him hero." Sarah reaches across, light touch to Emily's sleeve. "I know. My daughter sings his praises too." She takes a breath. "This isn't your fault. He built walls so high we couldn't see each other." Emily's shoulders shake, but rage sparks. "Where is he now?" "Flying in tomorrow noon, expects to celebrate our anniversary tomorrow night." Emily lets out a laugh, sharp, wounded. "He planned to split evenings?" "How?" "He booked you earlier this week, me the next villa." Sarah raises a brow. "He underestimated calendars." They sit in silence, wind rattling bamboo. Finally, Emily straightens. "What's your plan?" "We confront together, away from the kids. Present proof, demand truth, then choose our next moves." Emily exhales, nods slowly. "I'll find someone to watch Liam and Nina. Tomorrow we finish this." Sarah's relief ripples. She offers her hotel burner. "Numbers inside. Call anytime." Emily stands, shaky but taller. "Thank you, Sarah, for honesty." Sarah watches her walk down the pier toward twilight. Two women, once strangers, now bonded by the same cut. She pays the bill, tucks remaining evidence back into her bag, and feels the air shift, a storm edge lifting, truth rolling in. Humidity thickens as the clock nears noon. Sarah waits near the lobby fountain, sunglasses hiding eyes, Emily unseen behind a pillar across the room. Maggie positions extra security by doorways, plainclothes, friendly, alert. The kids are safe in the kids' club, blissfully unaware, coloring pirate maps. Detective Brennan lounges nearby with a mocktail, camera bag at her feet. Sliding doors hiss, Daniel strides in, tan from secret sun, smiles wide. He spots Sarah first, surprise flickering, she wasn't due till evening. "Babe?" He quick steps over, pulls her into a hug. Sarah's body stays stiff. He releases, confusion blooming. "Your flight changed." "Something like that," she says, voice calm ice. Before Daniel can probe, Emily emerges, standing to his left. "Hello, Danny." Daniel jerks as if electric shocked. Eyes dart between women. "Em? Why howish?" The lobby hushes, only the fountain hums. Sarah gestures toward a side lounge Maggie cleared. "Let's talk where the ears are fewer." Daniel's face pales, but he follows, no real choice. Inside, glass doors slide shut. Lisa hits record on a discreet phone. Evidence folders sprawl across a low table. Emily crosses arms, fire in her gaze. Sarah opens with steady words. "Daniel, you've been married to me since 2013, living with Emily since 2019, father to 3 kids in 2 cities, all under lies." Daniel's mouth works, no sound. Emily slaps the will copy on the table. "You called me partner, widowed husband, single dad. Which costume is real?" He swallows hard, tries a soft tone. I was going to tell you both. It got complicated." Emily's laugh is brittle. "Complicated?" 2 mortgages, 2 surname variations, 2 sets of bedtime stories. Daniel turns to Sarah, pleading, I never stopped loving you. Work travel just stretched. Sarah slides the marriage certificate forward. Love isn't elastic that way. Her voice cracks only once. Why fake my death? That obituary was a placeholder, he mutters. I thought I'd merge lives later, once the kids. Merge, Emily snaps. Like spreadsheets. Daniel reaches out, but no one takes his hand. Sweat beads on his forehead. We can fix this privately. Let's leave lawyers out. Sarah exhales. Private ended the moment you booked us at the same resort. She nods to Detective Brennan, who steps forward. Lisa's here to document. HR already knows. Your lies follow you home. Daniel's shoulders slump. Panic dulls his charm. He whispers, Please, not in front of the kids. Then pack. Emily says, voice flat. You won't see them today. Sarah adds, or Sophie. She deserves better. Daniel licks dry lips, eyes glossy. For once, the salesman's words fail. Security escorts him to collect belongings, no cuffs, but a silent walk of shame past lobby spectators. Sarah watches the man she loved shrink under the weight of truth. Emily stands beside her, breathing shaky relief. Outside, waves crash steadily, uncaring. Inside, 2 women share a long silent glance, acknowledging pain, courage, and the first breath of freedom. Daniel stands outside Suite 2C, luggage half-zipped, phone buzzing like a trapped bee. Maggie Jennings lets Sarah and Emily watch from a distance, security close by in case rage beats shame. Daniel taps frantic messages to HR, to some unknown lawyer, to maybe no one at all. We can talk, Sarah, he pleads over his shoulder. Let's not ruin the whole trip. Sarah shakes her head. The trip's already rubble. Her voice stays calm, but inside she's a volcano. Emily appears in the doorway holding Nina, who fusses at the tight air. Liam hides behind Emily's leg, sensing trouble. Emily says gently, Danny needs to go for a bit, sweets. Let's give him space. Daniel starts, please. But Emily's eyes go steel and he wilts. Detective Brennan steps in, clipboard ready. Mr. Morgan, hotel policy requires you move to a different property tonight. Reservation canceled by mutual request. She slide. Morgan/Morrison. Seeing the double surname inked inches apart feels like closure and epitaph. He tries one last spin. We can do family therapy. Families, Sarah corrects. Plural. He glances at Liam's wide eyes and Sophie's picture. Sarah holds it in her hand, reminder of who's missing. Daniel's shoulders quake. I never wanted to hurt anyone. I was managing love. Emily laughs, one bitter puff. You managed nothing. Love doesn't ask you to juggle kids like flaming pins. Security escorts him down the path. Tourists whisper behind beach towels. A little boy even asks, Mom, why is that man crying? No answer comes. Sarah and Emily walk back inside Suite 2C. Silence rings louder than shouts. Emily sinks to the sofa, face in hands. Sarah kneels beside, pulls her into a hug. 2 strangers in matching heartbreak holding each other up. After a minute, Sarah rises. We have kids waiting for truth. Emily nods, wiping tears. Liam watches from the hallway, clutching a toy plane. He asks, voice small, is Dad coming back? Emily's mouth opens, but no words. Sarah places a gentle hand on Emily's shoulder. Let's tell them together. Honest light, remember? Outside, a storm cloud crawls over the sea. Waves slam harder, white spray leaping high as if the ocean itself can't hold back the crash. They gather in Suite 2C's living room nook, pillows on the floor, curtains half drawn to dull the tropical glare. Sarah sits beside Emily, knees almost touching. Liam holds a plush shark, Nina curls in her mom's lap, thumb in mouth. Sophie appears via video call on Sarah's phone, her face framed by Grandma's crochet blanket. Sarah breathes deep. "Kids, we need to talk about your dad." Liam's grip on the shark tightens. Sophie leans closer to the screen. Emily speaks softly. "Your dad loves you. That part is real, but he's been keeping a giant secret that hurt lots of people." She looks at Sarah, who nods. Sarah continues, voice steady. "He has two families. Emily's family and mine. He told lies so we wouldn't know about each other." Sophie's eyes fill first. "I guessed," she whispers. "I saw clues." Her lower lip trembles, but she straightens like she promised herself. Liam frowns. "Two families? Like two houses?" Emily explains, simplest terms. "Yes, honey. He lived with us some days and with Sarah and Sophie other days. He didn't tell the truth, and that was wrong." Nina babbles, senses tension. Emily kisses her hair. Sarah says, "You didn't cause this. Grown-up choices sometimes break promises. But we're here to keep you safe." Sophie wipes cheeks. "Will Dad go to jail?" "No, sweetie," Sarah answers. "But he'll face big consequences at work and in court. He needs to fix the mess he made." Liam's voice cracks. "He promised dolphins tomorrow." Fresh tears spill. Emily pulls him close. "I know, buddy. We can still see dolphins. And I'll be with you the whole time." Sarah adds, "Maybe Sophie can join video calls. We'll make new plans together." Sophie nods, determined. "I'll send you dolphin pictures from books. We'll compare facts." The simple offer wraps the room in warmth. Emily looks at Sarah with grateful eyes. Two moms forging a bridge for four hurting hearts. They spend an hour building a new story poster. Liam draws two houses connected by a bright road. Sophie writes, "Truth Road, only honest cars allowed." Nina stamps her palm in blue paint, giggles. Even in mess, laughter finds cracks. When the poster hangs on the balcony door, waves crash softer, as if approving. Emily thanks Sarah again. Sarah replies, "We're co-captains now." They share a tired smile, proof that stitched hearts can still beat strong. 3 days later, Sarah wheels her suitcase into her own hallway. The house smells like lemon polish. Rita aired it out before the return. Photos on walls haven't moved, but Sarah feels like she's stepping into a museum of someone else's life. She drops bags, picks up Sophie from Grandma's. Sophie bolts into her arms. "Mom, you did it, didn't you?" Sarah hugs tight. "We all did." In the car, Sophie chatters about science camp plans, but pauses to ask, "Will Dad live here?" Sarah answers gently, "Not for a while, maybe never in the same way. He needs to fix things first." Sophie nods, wiping one silent tear. Back home, Sarah walks room to room. She opens the closet where Daniel kept extra suits. Half are gone. He'd slipped in while she traveled, picking what he could. An odd calm washes over her. Empty hangers mean space for new beginnings. Mail waits on the counter. A letter from Daniel's employer. She tears it open. Suspension pending investigation for identity fraud. Karma slides into place. Another envelope holds a retainer contract from a family law attorney Rita recommended. Sarah signs, date bold. No more waiting for someone else's choices. Evening falls. Sarah fixes grilled cheese sandwiches, simple comfort. Sophie sets the table, 2 plates now, not 3. They hold hands, say a short grace for fresh starts. After dinner, Sarah tucks Sophie in. Her daughter hands over a new diary page. Bridges can rebuild if the people walking hold tight. I'm holding tight to you. Sarah's throat aches as she kisses Sophie's forehead. Right back at you, lion girl. Downstairs, Sarah pulls a small box from the pantry. Inside rests the seashell necklace meant for the anniversary dinner that never happened. She walks to the backyard, digs a shallow hole by the rose bush, and buries the necklace under dark soil. Private ritual. Goodbye to a dream, hello to honest ground. Phone buzzes. Unknown number. She answers. Emily's voice floats in, gentle. Kids asleep. Just wanted to say we made it through the dolphin cruise. Liam smiled again. Sarah smiles. Win of the week. They promise regular check-ins. When the call ends, Sarah pours tea, opens the windows. Warm night air carries city sounds, alive, real. She sits at the kitchen table, pen poised over a blank journal page titled, Clean Slate Plans. First entry, paint the living room bright. No shadows. Second, start freelance design again, own schedule, own money. Third, love myself loud. Outside, a lone cricket chirps. Inside, Sarah begins to write the next chapter, one that belongs only to her and Sophie, built on boards strong enough to carry their brave hearts forward. Monday morning, corporate HQ buzzes like a beehive kicked off its stand. Daniel walks in wearing his best suit, but sweat darkens the collar before he reaches the glass doors marked HR and Compliance. Inside, David Collins sits beside two stern executives and an outside auditor. A neat stack of Detective Brennan's files lies in front of them, aliases, travel scams, forged signatures. Daniel tries the smile that once closed million-dollar deals. It wilts. The director opens. Mr. Morgan or Mr. Morrison. Company policy states falsifying identity for personal gain is immediate grounds for termination. She slides a termination form forward. Daniel's pen hovers, handshaking. He starts, if I could just explain, but David cuts in, voice quiet and final. You explained for years, Dan. We listened. You lied. News travels faster than office gossip ever did. By lunch, a trade journal blog posts the headline, Top Sales Rep Lives Double Life, Fired for Fraud. Comments explode with outrage, mockery, and memes of two-faced masks. Sarah's phone pings nonstop. She turns off notifications, not out of pity, but to keep focus on Sophie's school pickup. That evening, Daniel calls Sarah from an unfamiliar number. She lets it ring out. His voicemail spills apologies, talks of mistakes, overwork, a heart too big. She deletes the message, then saves a transcription for her lawyer, evidence of continued pressure. Emily too gets a barrage of calls, but she'd already blocked him. When Daniel finally emails her, she forwards it to Sarah with a single line, words cost nothing. Actions cost everything. The bond between the two women hardens into steel. They share updates not for vengeance but mutual safety. Social fallout hits next. PTA moms uninvite Daniel from the fall fundraiser. His men's league softball team removes his name from the roster. Even his car insurer calls Sarah, checking whether the policy needs adjusting since Mr. Morgan no longer resides full-time at the premises. She says yes, he doesn't. Late that night, Sarah sips chamomile and opens her journal. She writes, Karma walks, doesn't run, but she never stumbles. Outside, rain patters steady, washing pollen from streets and maybe, just maybe, rinsing the last remnants of Daniel's charm from the neighborhood. Sunrise paints Oak Leaf Lane gold, but inside number 28 boxes litter every corner. Emily moves quick, labeling each kid's clothes, school art, not his. A moving truck waits, engine idling like an impatient friend. Liam helps pack stuffed animals. Nina naps on a pile of folded blankets. Emily's sister Trish taps packing tape shut and whispers, proud of you, Em. Daniel's key rattles at the door. He steps in, eyes wide at the cardboard forest. You're leaving. Emily straightens, wipes sweat off her brow. Lease ends tomorrow. I won't renew. Daniel sets a folder on the counter, flowers pressed inside, apology letter on top. Emily reads the first line, asterisk, my love remains, asterisk, and hands it back. Love doesn't lie for sport. Daniel's shoulder slumps. He looks at Liam, who turns away hugging the shark plush. Outside, the landlord's sedan pulls up. Emily signs surrender papers before Daniel can object. Security deposit goes to her. She'll need it for the new apartment closer to her parents. Daniel opens his mouth, maybe to argue finances, but the landlord's glare stops him. Meanwhile, Sarah meets her attorney downtown. She signs separation documents, clean font, no drama, citing bigamy, fraud, emotional harm. Papers will reach Daniel by certified mail tomorrow. Rita waits in the lobby with post-meeting donuts and a grin. Step can't hurt if it lifts weight off your back, she jokes. Sarah smiles, actually tastes the sweetness. That night, Oakleaf Lane echoes hollow. Emily sleeps on a borrowed air mattress with one arm over each child. Across town, Daniel rents a short-stay motel room, buzzing light, paper-thin walls, a suitcase half full because half his clothes are still with Sarah, the rest accidentally donated when Emily purged closets. Poetic recycling. A storm front rolls in. Lightning cracks, thunder rattles motel windows. Daniel watches rain sheets and finally cries, quiet, ugly sobs nobody hears. He set 2 houses ablaze, now he shelters in the ash. Elsewhere, Sarah and Emily text a final plan for shared holidays, alternating weekends so siblings can build a blended bond Daniel never managed. They call a Truth Road schedule a nod to Sophie's poster. Bridges can rebuild, but only on honest pillars. The moms pour fresh cement tonight. Saturday dawns bright and still. Sarah stands in her living room, paint roller dripping sunshine yellow. Sophie wears an oversized t-shirt, splattered already. The first bold stripe swallows the old beige, and both cheer. Music blasts, Sophie's playlist, all upbeat pop. Each stroke feels like rewriting wall history, no more shadow corners, only light. After lunch, Sarah sets up her new freelance desk by the front window. She posts her first design ad, simple logos, social media banners under her maiden name, Sarah Lane. Within an hour, 3 inquiries ping. She laughs, surprised and empowered. Sophie high-fives her. Told you talents pay, the girl says, wise beyond years. Later they drive to Riverside Park where Emily and the kids wait near the fountain. Liam spots Sophie and sprints. The two trade Pokemon cards while Nina toddles between blankets. Emily hands Sarah iced tea. Lease signed, small place but cozy, she reports. Sarah nods. Separation hearing in 60 days, she shares. They sit watching kids build a tower of pebbles, a new clan forming from broken shards. Across the park, Daniel lingers near a bench, court-ordered visitation supervisor at his side. He waves, unsure. Liam raises a timid hand. Sophie keeps stacking stones. Sarah feels a pang, pity's echo, then turns back to Emily. Some bridges stay closed until reinforced. Daniel must pour his own concrete now. Evening brings a backyard barbecue at Rita's. Friends gather, gossip fades, laughter rises. Someone asks Sarah what comes next. She grins. Whatever I choose. Fireflies flicker, Sophie chases them, jar in hand. The horizon holds no clouds tonight. At home, Sophie tapes the Truth Road poster above her desk. Sarah pins her first paid design receipt beside it. 2 trophies. One emotional, one practical. She texts Emily a photo. Emily replies with a picture of bedtime stories, Sophie via video, Liam listening, Nina clutching the phone. Before bed, Sarah lights a single candle, whispers a short prayer of thanks, for daylight, for brave kids, for friends who guard hearts. She blows it out, darkness gentle now, not scary. Hey wonderful readers! Drop your comments, perspectives, and lessons learned in the section below. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more twists, and share this story with every friend who loves a good dose of karma. Thanks for reading, see you in the next tale.